Yo, what's up? This is Unlicensed Okie coming at you from my game room. Just another pickups video. I picked up a few things today. I figured I might show y'all, see what I got today. But we'll start off with, got a box full of stuff right here. Start off with a game I got in the mail. I bought it from somebody off Facebook. It's Rugrats in Paris, the movie, for the Nintendo 64. I'm not sure if I played this. I know I played some of the the Rugrats games on the 64. Particularly, I think one of them had a mini golf, where you play mini golf in it. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that's this one because that part was awesome whenever I was a kid. So yeah, so there's that. Thank you to the dude who told me that, and I got a box full of stuff that I got from the same person. So I mean, a lot of little stuff. So we'll start with this Game Boy carrying case. Let's see. It's an old one. One of the latches is broke on it, but it seems it works all right. See, open that, put Game Boy here, put some of your games and some of your extra accessories and stuff. Carry around with you. I mean, it's a nice little vintage Game Boy case. I mean, vintage, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's a nice little addition to my collection. I might get some good use out of it. But next we have another Game Boy case. This one's for the Game Boy Color. I never saw one like this growing up, but see, you have put your Game Boy there and put your, some of your games and stuff just like the other one. Kind of just carry stuff with you. It's nice little, it's good sturdy quality. So it's a little dirty, but I can clean it up a little bit and it'll be all right. All right, next we have. Let's start with the Game Boys. Actually, there was actually 4 Game Boys in this box. 4 Game Boys in this lot that I bought. Get y'all started on this. First, we have the Game Boy, let's say lime green Game Boy Color, and it actually comes with the snake light, or if that's what they call it. Can't remember, but yeah, took it on there, and you have color, or you have light whenever you play your Game Boy Color. I remember, I didn't have one of these growing up, but I remember a lot of people talking about them. This was like the lightsaber if you ever had a Game Boy, because I mean, that means you could take your Game Boy Color wherever, how dark, it doesn't matter how dark it is, you could see it and it light it up real well. So I'm really glad to have that with that Game Boy, with the matching color as well. So I mean, that's really awesome. Next we have the original Game Boy DMG. This one doesn't have any batteries in it. I'm sure it works. It's in decent condition. So nice little piece of knife. I'm not sure. I've already got one, so I'm not sure what exactly I'll do with it. But it was a nice piece to find. Add to the lot. So next we have a Game Boy Advance SP Model 101. SP 101. This is the backlit model. This is the best model to get for a SP because the light quality, the quality of the picture is better, and it's just a better quality all around. And the only one of this type of the 101s that I have is the Pokemon edition. So it's good to have just a regular plain 101, to add to my collection. It's in pretty rough shape, but I mean it works. It's got some scratches on the screen, but it's been well used, you can tell, but I'm glad to add that to my collection. I'll get some use out of that because I don't like playing my special edition stuff because I'm always afraid something will happen to it. So I'm glad I'll have that so I can play it some more. And actually, the next thing I have is probably what you would call the gem of the lot, and that would be the Famicom Edition 20th anniversary Famicom Edition Game Boy Advance SP, or Game Boy Advance Micro. Yeah, that's what it is. I actually have one of these. I have a black one. This will be my second SP, and so now this makes 2 of the 3 color variants that were released in the U.S. I have them. So now I'm just missing the silver one. So I mean, and for this, I paid. This was what the majority of the lot cost me, was just for this one handheld. So, and I got it charging right now. So I mean, it's in like almost mint condition. I would say it's got a few scratches on the screen, but on the screen cover. But this was one. This is one I was really excited for because, like I said, it's just I love special edition stuff. So, I'm glad to have that in my collection. So next we have. Well, first we'll go to the Game Boy games. The first one, all the games I'm going to show you are the ones that I didn't have. I already, there was a few ones I did have. I have unboxed away already. So I'm just going to show you the games that I'm adding to my collection. So first we have Rampage World Tour. I used to love the Rampage games growing up. They were amazing. And, of course, I have... Oh, do I have it? I have it on the GameCube. The Rampage on the GameCube. And it's really fun, too. But, I mean, this one, I'm not really sure. I mean, I haven't tried it yet. So, I'm interested to see what kind of game how well they do Rampage on the Game Boy Color. Next, we have Marble Madness. It's a game tell you the truth, I don't remember playing Marble Madness. I couldn't tell you what the gameplay is. So, I mean, I'll have to look at it because I'm not really sure. So, yeah, but hey, if it's something I haven't done before, I haven't played before, I'm really happy to have it in my collection. So, of course, you have the classic the arcade collection. You have Galaga and Galaxian. These are two really awesome arcade games. I played them quite a bit. I haven't played them in arcade. I played you have emulators and stuff like that, and these two games are really cool. And I think on the Game Boy they'd be really fun too. Hook them up with my Super Game Boy on my Super Nintendo, and I'll be able to play them pretty good. Next we have Batman, the video game on the Game Boy, on the original Game Boy. I've never seen this one either, so I'm hoping it plays, about like the Super Nintendo or even the Genesis Batman, where it's just a beat 'em up. Which I mean, for for a regular Game Boy, that's almost what it'd have to be, just a regular beat 'em up. So it can't be something too complicated. So, but I'm glad I have Batman on my Game Boy. So next was probably one of the big Game Boy games that I've always wanted to play, because I've never, and this one is Castlevania Adventures. I've never been much of a Castlevania fan. I guess the reason is I've never really tried it, but played it a little bit here and there. I played on the Super Castlevania 4, I think, on the Super Nintendo. I have that one, and it's actually really fun. I really enjoy it, but I haven't played. And I have Simon's Quest on the NES as well. I haven't played it as very much either, but this one I played a little bit whenever I was just going through stuff, and it actually seems like it's just like a regular Castlevania game. It is what I would call a good port from a home console to regular game, especially the regular Game Boy, because the regular Game Boy was like really not powerful enough at all. So, I mean, to see it ported over well. It's not a port. It looks like the regular game, is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say. So, yeah, it looks and plays just like the regular, NES or whatever Castlevania game. So, and the gameplay is all exactly the same. So, I'm glad to have that. Next we have Championship Motocross 2001 with Ricky Carmichael. I've never really been into motocross. It was just, I played some. Actually, I take it back. I played some of the motocross games, and I know, I could probably, maybe if I try a little harder, I'll be able to think of some of the names of some of the more famous people from, well, of course, the 90s, because that's when I would remember some of that. But here we got, I'm not even sure what this game would be. I'm, thinking maybe Excite Bike or something like that, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's good for my collection, I guess. So, and this one I was actually surprised I didn't have, because it's one of those, who wouldn't have this game? And that's just regular old baseball for the Game Boy. Whenever I was looking through my app on my phone, I was like, well, I'm sure I have this game. I know. I mean, I was like, well, I guess I don't have this game. Wow. And it's a classic game. It's one of those everybody's played baseball on any of the consoles. But of course, like the Game Boy, if you played a Game Boy, most likely you've played baseball on it at some point. So, especially if you grew up with a Game Boy. So, well, good for my collection now that I do have it finally. But next we have Alleyway. This was, I'm guessing, like Brick Breaker. I mean, I grew up playing playing Brick Breaker games, so this one looks like it's really fun too. Of course, you have the little Mario's one that in the little shuttle, making the ball go back and forth, and so I think that's really cool. It's a nice little detail that they added to it. So, good for my collection. So next is one I have. I have like 3 or 4 copies, but I can't get enough of this game because I mean I'll take all the copies I can, and that's just regular old Tetris. I actually have. This is actually my favorite game of all time, and this is actually my favorite port of this game of all time. Is the Game Boy, regular Game Boy version of Tetris. I love Tetris. I have as many Tetris games as I can find. I'm trying to find all the Tetris games, and I probably have 3 or 4 copies of this particular, the regular Game Boy version of Tetris. So I'm glad I have it, and add another one to my collection. So actually, there's another one right here on my desk. So it's like, yep, add that with the other one. So yeah, this is the classic game. If you have a Game Boy and If you have a Game Boy and you don't have this game, you need to get it now. This is the quintessential Game Boy game, I would say. And like I said, Tetris is my favorite game of all time, and this is my favorite version of Tetris. So another one in that collection. Next, we're going on to the Game Boy Advance games. I only have 2 for this one. So Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm not sure how the Game Boy Advance would be able to handle a Need for Speed game. I haven't played this yet, and honestly, I'm a little afraid too. Because, like I said, I've seen how Mario Kart on the Game Boy Advance. I think it's Double Dash or no, it's Circuit or something. Yeah, on the Game Boy Advance, it's not very good. Maybe it's trying too much to be like the original, but I mean I don't like it nearly as much as like some of the regular um, Mario Kart games. But we'll see how this one goes. Like I said, I'm gonna try it out and just see what it does, see what kind of game it is. I'm not gonna get my hopes up too much about it because, like I said, it's on the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Advance was not that powerful, as opposed to like taking a regular console port, taking a regular console game and porting it to something like the Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy or whatever. Especially if it was like something that was on the say like the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 or something like that, or even like the Nintendo 64. Some of the 64 games are alright, but like this one, I'm not too sure. But I'll try it and see how it plays. So next we have a movie game. This one is Daredevil on the Game Boy Advance. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. This was one of my favorite superhero movies back in the day, growing up early 2000s, wherever. And I've just really enjoyed this movie. I know a lot of people like, well, it's Ben Affleck and he sucks, and also, well, I mean, this was a decent Ben Affleck portrayal. I mean, performance. Of course, you had like Michael Clark Duncan as the Kingpin. Who could go wrong there, right? I mean, he was great in that role, and then of course you have can't think of who it was that played or Bullseye. I can't think of what his name is. No, I don't know, but he was alright. He's a little crazy, but I mean it was enjoyable. And then of course you have the I guess it's the sequel / spinoff that is Elektra, which honestly wasn't very good. I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to defend that movie at all, but Daredevil itself, I think, was a really good movie. So, and as for the game, there's another one. I have no idea, so I'll have to look at it and see. It's made by Encore, released in 2003. So I don't know. We'll have to try it out. It might be a good game. It might not be. I mean, like I said, for a movie game like that, I'm not getting my hopes up too much. I'm hoping it's, if it's bad, I'm hoping at least it's just like a decent beat 'em up or something. So, all right, next we have some Super Nintendo stuff. So I'll move this around. This video is going a little long, but I like talking, so. Next we have just the regular Super Nintendo. This thing is, it's a little dirty, but but it's gray, and that's a good thing. I'm glad I found, it's just a regular gray console, and this one is in pretty good shape for being, the guy said all this stuff has been in his closet for who knows how long and been in storage and stuff. So I'm like, well, yeah, I'll take it. So, that's what took me so long to get this lot, because there was so much of it. I had to buy it in like spurts, whenever I had money to. But it has 2 controllers and the cords and everything, and I'm sure it works. I mean, I have no reason to believe, no reason to think that it wouldn't work. So, I think it'll be a good one. I'm guessing I'll probably end up selling it though, because like I said, I already have a Super Nintendo. My Super Nintendo I have now is the one I got from my brother-in-law. It was his whenever he was a kid, so he's like, "Here, you want this?" Sure. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. Free Super Nintendo. But oh, yep, that'll be good. I'll see what I'm gonna do with that. I'm probably gonna sell it to somebody, or get more games and stuff with it. Next we have the rest of these games in this lot are basically all sports games for the Super Nintendo sports games. But good filler, good. I'm not I don't care if it's a sports game. It's good for my collection. It gives me a nice filler, I guess. But I haven't played any of these games either, so I'll just go with that. So next we have World League Soccer for the Super Nintendo. I like some soccer games. I'm gonna try out some of these games and see how good they are, how bad they are. So it's made by Nintendo. So no, it wasn't. It's made by Mindscape. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yep. World League Soccer on Super Nintendo. Next on the list we have NHL Stanley Cup. This one is actually it. I don't know. I've never played hockey games either, so I'm interested to see what kind of hockey game they made for the Super Nintendo. It's got NHL on it, so it can't be terrible. Hopefully, but we'll see. We'll see. Next we have probably one of the best. It's probably one of the most well-known sports franchises or whatever, especially back in the day, would be NBA Jam. I shockingly didn't have the original NBA Jam for the Super Nintendo. I don't even think I have the tournament edition. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, this one looks like it'd be pretty cool. So I'm interested to play it. And like I said, it's been a while since I played NBA Jam, so we'll have to wait and see. Play it some more, and maybe invite my buddy over and we can play. Alright. Next we have Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball. You cannot go wrong with a baseball game. It's really hard to mess up a baseball game. So I'm assuming this is a decent, because I like baseball games. I liked them back in the day. So I'm assuming this is just your average baseball game. So good for my collection. I know this is a long video, but bear with me. Next we have Super Tennis. This one, was another one, tennis game. I love, like Mario Tennis and stuff like that. I imagine it's similar to that. So I'm interested to see what, like I said, I'm gonna play most, if not all, of these games. At least try them out. So I'm interested to see what this game is. Next, or last but not least, and maybe least, be Madden NFL 94. This is my third Madden game for the Super Nintendo that I have so far. I have like John Madden NFL, and I have Madden NBA or Madden NFL 95. I think. But it's another Madden game. I love football games. Particularly like the newer ones, like you have um, what's the one on like I can't. I'll think about it later. But Blitz, yeah, NFL Blitz, yeah, those are fun games, especially like on the GameCube. Me and my buddy would play that game for hours. NFL Blitz on the GameCube, it's amazing. But I imagine this isn't quite like that. So, well, like I said, I didn't play a whole lot of Super Nintendo back in the day that I remember. I mean, I might have, and I just don't remember anymore. But because I was really young whenever we had Super Nintendo. So, well, it's a good addition to my collection, and that'll be all. I think that's everything that was in the box. I don't have anything other than I have some um, protective things for the Super Nintendo, but those are going to go on my more expensive games. Even I don't have really any real expensive games, but well, I appreciate y'all if y'all stuck around this long. I know I'm not the most entertaining person, but I try. So if y'all like the video, then feel free to subscribe and push that like button, and we'll see what I find next. So thank y'all. Peace.